Hey everybody, it's day 137 of Training Daily Excellence. My name is Brad Gieske. Today is the fourth installment of our week of nutrition, and we are talking about lipids today. Next, we're going to talk about our lipid sources. Number one, I want to tell you, lipids are healthful. They are good for you. They support your brain development, they support your health. They're also going to be an energy source at lower intensities over long periods of time. So these things are good for you. But there are some considerations that we need to make. So first, I want to just touch on these oils, the mayonnaise, and then also nuts. So some people are sensitive to nuts. If you are, that's fine. You don't need them. If you aren't sensitive to nuts and you can consume those, then they're a very good source of minerals, depending on the nuts. They'll have different mineral composition. And then also they're a good source of protein and, of course, the lipids that we're talking about now. So one thing I want to point out, because this is the most common mayonnaise that you'll see, is probably Hellmann's. Now, you look here on the front, it says real mayonnaise, right? So that immediately makes you think, okay, that's that natural that he's talking about, right? And then you turn to the side and it says made with cage-free eggs. And you're like, wow, this is the good stuff. For sure. But here's the thing. First of all, you can say real on any product. That's not a regulated term. You can say that on whatever product you want. Secondly, cage-free just means that at some point in the day, those chickens have access to somewhere outside of their cage. So it doesn't mean that they can go outside and roam in the pasture. It just means that there's some way of getting out of their cage at some point in the day. So it doesn't mean much. Now, if we flip to the back side here, we're going to look at the ingredients, and yeah, we're doing pretty good. There's not very many ingredients, but then we get to calcium, disodium, EDTA. Okay? Now, this is a preservative, and a lot of these preservatives have been shown to have adverse side effects when given in high concentrations to animals. Okay? So that's something we need to consider. But most people, and that's going to be actually the Food Administration, they're going to say the same thing. It's such a small concentration in here that it's not going to affect a human in the same way that it's affecting the animals in the studies. But here's the consideration. If you're consuming a little bit each day over the course of a lifetime, is that not a large amount of something that has potentially been shown to be dangerous? Now, I'm not saying all of this to scare you. I'm not saying all of this to make you feel like you need to eat just only the expensive and all natural stuff. But I'm just putting something in your ear so that you consider next time you eat something, does it have a preservative? And if it does have a preservative, have I done my research on that? And if you've done your research on that, do you still want that in your body? Is it still something that you consider to be okay? Is it still something you consider to be food? So think about that. I just want you to dwell on that a little bit. So we got mayonnaise here. This mayonnaise is very similar in composition. It's going to have a lipid source, so coconut oil, and then it's going to have our egg yolks, and it's going to have water, it's going to have a little bit of sugar, our salt, and then vinegar. And then here's what it's using mustard and citric acid and rosemary extract to preserve it. So those are a little bit more natural ingredients than calcium, disodium, EDTA. So over here we have coconut oil. So number one on coconut oil, make sure that you get it unrefined. If it's refined coconut oil, which a lot of times it ends up being a gimmick because they're going to look almost exactly the same. They're going to say all these natural things and they're going to say virgin coconut oil. And then you'll flip it over and you got to look at the ingredients. So right here it says unrefined, cold pressed, virgin coconut oil. Okay? The reason that's important is if you get refined coconut oil, some of the nutrients are already cooked off of it. Most of the nutrients are already cooked off of it. So you're not going to get the nutritional bang that you're looking for with it. Secondly, coconut oil is a medium heat cooking oil, meaning that the smoke point is somewhere around 350 degrees, and if you hit that smoke point, you're cooking off the nutrition that's in here. So again, you're almost doing the same thing that the refining process was doing. You're taking out some of the nutrients that are naturally occurring in here. So you're going to want to make sure that you cook below 350 degrees with this. Something really cool about coconut oil, something that's semi-unique about it, is it has primarily medium chain triglycerides, MCT oils. And so that's kind of a Bing term. A lot of people talk about MCT oils in the health and fitness industry. But MCT oils are cool because they're metabolized differently than the long chain triglycerides that you find in like soybean oil and canola oil and grapeseed oil and all of those other ones. So it's been shown to be a more readily accessible form of fuel, especially for people that are doing athletic endeavors. So something to consider. Coconut oil may be something to enhance your game. Not only that, but the water, the coconut water is also very good for you. It's something that Usain Bolt drinks after a lot of his trainings because it has electrolyte, it has those naturally occurring electrolytes, and it's also fairly low in sugar compared to the sports beverages. So it's something that can drive that hydration into your body. So check it out. Thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe, and share. Remember that lipids are healthful for us. They are essential to our brain development, neural transmission, and many other physiological processes. The key is having a balanced diet and focusing on natural foods. So until next time, till tomorrow, I'll see you guys in healthy eating.
Like a bird on